guys.
Hi, and welcome. We're very excited about today's lesson. Today we're going to be learning all about animal adaptations. And I nerd out on this stuff big time. I love it. I'm very excited for today because we've got an experiment to do. It's going to be great. So in order to learn a bit more about animal adaptations, we will be doing a fun experiment, making our own blubber gloves. Okay, so before getting to the experiment, there's some terms that you should know. I'm going to screen share a PowerPoint with you real quick, and then I'll let Lawdan go ahead and do our first word.
Okay. Got it screen shared? Nice.
Nice. All right, Lawdan, what's a habitat?
A habitat is the natural home or environment an animal, plant, or other organism lives. So I have this. This is a dinosaur, if you didn't know, because it doesn't look like one, but it's a dinosaur, and it died. It got extinct a long time ago. So it's not in its natural habitat because it got extinct a while ago. Now, I have a little banana, and this is my little banana, and they're not extinct. It's my banana. So this banana is in its natural habitat with me. I'm also in my natural habitat, my house. So that's
very nice. I love that, Lawdan. Good explanation. Explanation.
Another example is like we have a fish right behind Manna, and like that fish is in its tank, and that would be the fish's natural habitat.
Exactly. And
if the fish was on land flopping around, that's not its natural habitat.
Right, it wouldn't survive. And it has adapted to actually live in that tank, right? It even has grown a certain size because of the size of tank. That's another lesson for another day. Okay, so here's what's really cool. I'm also in my natural habitat. I like to be around plants. So I've got some plants, especially in quarantine. It's really nice. I also have lots of coffee because I'm a teacher. And so I've adapted to my environment, and my behaviors have changed so that I can survive the day. Okay. All right, adaptations. This one's for Danielle.
All right, that brings us to our next word. Mandy has adapted at this point to living in quarantine, apparently. So let's go over what adaptations are. Adaptations are any behavioral or physical characteristic of an animal that help it to survive in its environment. These characteristics fall into three main categories. One is the body parts. Two are body coverings that the animal may have, and three are behaviors. The next one we're going to talk about is blubber. So blubber is extra fat or an insulation for the animal to help protect it from freezing temperatures. Seals and whales are examples of animals that have blubber.
Very nice, love it. And I'm also typing these out, so if you're at home and you always go through our vocabulary, we always do it the exact same. We introduce and then we go through vocab. So if it's something that you want to take notes on, feel free to do that. So blubber is extra fat insulation to help animals survive cold weather, right? Cold or freezing temperatures, really. Nice.
You got it.
Awesome. I'm excited for this next part as well. You now are all contestants in a game. So what I need you to have is a piece of paper and a pencil, any writing utensil really. That's all you need to play the game. If you're at home and you want to play the game, go ahead and get those materials really quick while I explain what we're doing. Okay, so do all of my contestants have paper and pencil? Yay, okay. All right, so today's habitat, because we're going to be going over a bunch of habitats in videos to come, but we're all focused today on the Arctic, okay? So here's a picture of the Arctic. We've got freezing temperatures, we've got polar bears, we've got all sorts of things. So the game that we're going to play, are you ready? Is I am going to put 1 minute on the clock, okay? Everybody has 1 minute. During that minute, I want you to think of every word that you can that you associate with the word Arctic, okay? So that could be animals that you know that live there. That could be characteristics of the habitat, okay? Does everybody understand the game? Thumbs up if you do. Awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and get us started on that. Does everybody have paper and pencil? Here we don't go, because I thought it'd be fun to have music, and apparently, here we go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. Okay, count up your words real quick and put it at the top of your paper and then show me once you have them. Nice. Ooh, okay, so we've got, Danielle got 16. Holy cow.
I'm just joking.
I'm not sure if they all count.
But she can type at 100 words per minute. Imagine how
I
fast
didn't
she can
type,
write.
I wrote.
Yeah, you're
No,
right.
but I'm saying, like, think about it. Like, it just test your typing. If you can type at 100 words per minute, imagine how fast her writing is.
That's a good point, Krosh. You got 10, Mandana. How many did you get?
6.
Okay, everybody show me your list. I'm going to read some of them off, okay? So I see words like cold, freezing, seal, ice.
I wrote cold, ice, polar bear, freeze, snow, penguin, seal, igloo, Eskimo.
Oh, good ones.
Those
Mandana,
are good.
did
I
you
probably got half
also?
of them wrong.
I wrote icebergs, polar bear, penguin, cold, ice, snow, and seal.
Nice. Okay, so one word that you all used to describe the Arctic was cold. Exactly. It is actually freezing there, okay? So one common word that you all used was cold. That's absolutely right. Temperatures in the Arctic can get as low as negative 59 degrees. Can you imagine that? Very cold. Very, very cold. We live in Arizona, so we know that we like the heat, and we wouldn't survive for certain, okay? So Atlantic water has an average temperature of 37.4 degrees. Does anyone know what temperature water freezes at?
32.
32 degrees.
32, you guys are both right, exactly. So that means that the water in the Arctic, and we saw that there's icebergs, so there are some parts of the ocean water that are actually frozen, but that means that it's very close to freezing, right?
Got a man
So, how do you think that animals have adapted to survive in a habitat like that?
Oh.
What do you think, Mom Donna? What do they have?
Blubber.
Blubber, yes. I love blubber. Okay, so I don't really want blubber, but these animals have to have it in order to survive. So that's what we're working on today. We're actually going to be making blubber gloves. Okay, so in order to get an idea of what it would be like to actually have blubber, we're going to do a little experiment. Danielle's the only one who had all of the materials, so she's going to be the person showing us how to do it, but we're going to walk her through it, okay? So, Karosh, could you tell us what we need for the experiment? Oh, you're muted.
Okay, sorry. What you'll need is 2 Ziploc baggies, 2 plastic baggies, 1 large one, 1 small one. You'll need a large bowl, just like a big old bowl. You'll need some water, some ice. You'll need a spoon. You'll need, what's it called? Crisco vegetable shortening. Whatever Danielle's holding, that thing. If you see that thing, grab it. Duct tape and gloves. You don't need heavy duty gloves. Danielle's using these tiny plastic gloves.
Nice.
Great. So here we go. I'll be following everyone's instructions, hopefully perfectly, and we'll run our science experiment. So, Karosh, what's my first step?
First, you're just going to need to fill that big bowl to the brim with ice.
Okay.
And then once you do that, put in some water enough to where you can stick your hand in and move it around.
Okay, perfect. Let me go do that.
Awesome. So while Danielle does that, what, Karosh?
We could just sit here and have a chat while she does that.
Yeah, just a little chat. So we mentioned that the ice water is about 37.4 degrees. Although we're not going to get that exactly right, we do know that this water is going to be very cold that she's getting right now, okay? Because it's a majority of the water is what? Going to be filled with what?
Ice. Sorry.
With ice, exactly. Okay, so it's going to be very, very cold water. So I'm really excited because this is going to be a pretty good simulation of exactly what it feels like to be an Arctic animal in these ice cold waters.
Sorry, guys. I'm still working on it.
No, you're good. You're good.
So what's your favorite food?
What'd you say, Karosh?
We need to stall, so what's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food? I love cheese. What about you?
Do you have a cheese drawer?
I do have a cheese.
I do.
My favorite food is sushi.
Everyone knows that.
I knew that.
Okay, I'm back.
How'd you know? I keep it such a secret.
Ice water.
Okay, she's all set. She's going to show us what she's got over there. She's got some very, very icy water. All right, Mandana, I believe it is your turn.
Okay. So first, put on your gloves and stick your hand in the ice water. And
Okay.
you need your gloves because sometimes it can be too cold for your skin. Tell us
Okay.
how it is.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My hand's
I'm
about to
leaving
take
you.
the plunge. Woo!
Woo.
Yeah, that's really cold.
Right?
Do I have to leave it in here?
No, you can take it out. No worries.
Oh.
As long as you know how it feels.
Let me
Okay?
grab a towel.
No problem. Right. So I bet she's wishing right now that she had some blubber, right? That would
Definitely.
keep her protected. Don't you wish you had some blubber?
Well, she
Wish
probably
I had some blubber
doesn't
on
need
his
blubber
hand.
because there's no real reason for her to stick her hand in a bowl of ice.
Okay, Danielle, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, so how do I make my blubber?
The way you're gonna make it is you're going to take the Visco, Crisco, whatever Nisco thing,
This
and
stuff.
you're going to put it in your small Ziploc baggie. Yeah.
Brand new.
Brand new. Danielle, what's your cat's name?
You're just gonna fill it halfway.
This one's Baylor.
Yeah.
Don't eat the Crisco. Come on, get down. We're doing science.
We're doing science today.
Okay, so
So
you
fill your
said
baggie halfway.
Yeah, it might take a minute. That's okay.
Before you do it, Mandy, which baggie should she fill?
yeah, big or small?
You're going to want to do the big baggie.
Big baggie.
I was wrong.
So basically, I would just fill nearly that whole thing of Crisco in there, if you can get that in there.
My whole Crisco container?
Really?
Yeah.
That might be excessive.
Might be excessive, you think?
I'm just joking.
So while she's working on that, I actually kind of want to tell you guys a little bit about what some of our other lessons are going to look like. So like I mentioned, today is all about the Arctic, but we have basically everything planned out for next week. So if you want to know when to tune in or on what topics you're really interested, I have them here. Okay, so on Monday and Tuesday, Danielle's going to be leading us through learning about the mussels. So I've got this purple guy up here, okay? And then on Wednesday, we're learning about independent and dependent clauses. So that's an English lesson. It's all about grammar and writing, okay? Thursday, we're gonna do something very similar like we did today, but the habitat is going to be the desert, okay?
Do I need more than this?
No, that's actually perfect, Danielle, nice. And then on Friday, we're gonna do the ocean. Looks like she's set for the next step.
Perfect. So next, wait, am I muted? Okay. Then you will want to stick your hand into the Ziploc. You can keep your thin glove on on as well. The next part might be a little tricky without a second pair of hands.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to this tricky part before I go.
Okay, true. So if you had an assistant, so if you're at home and you're doing this with maybe a sibling or a parent or a friend, that person would then duct tape the top of the glove and seal it to close the opening. So Danielle, one part that I didn't mention is you can either put your hand in with just the glove into the blubber if you don't mind getting the glove really messy, or you can put your hand in the small Ziploc baggie and then place that in the big baggie, okay? So when you put that hand in there in the small baggie, that's what I mean by duct taping the top so that only your wrist is out. So
can I duct tape my glove?
Yeah, if that works, yeah.
We're gonna try it. So I switched my glove to my left hand, but I promise you my right hand told my left hand what it felt like to put it in the water.
I really wish you had an assistant. I'm so sorry that you don't. If duct tape doesn't work for you, you can also
I got this.
I'm turning 16 soon. Just wait till I turn 16, and then I could drive over to your house, and then, like, I bet you by then the coronavirus thing will be over, and I can help you duct tape.
We'll plan for the future for that. You're right, Kurosh.
You fail your driver's license. Your driver's test.
I already did fail my driver's test. That doesn't stop me from driving.
Awesome. Okay. All right, so now you're going to stick that hand inside your blubber.
That's gonna hurt to take off.
Yep, probably. Okay.
Okay, so kind of show us the glove so I can explain this part. If you had an assistant, like I said, you could duct tape that part around the other small baggie, okay? So go ahead and dump your hand in there. Now that you've got the blubber glove, kind of form it around your hand, put it in there and tell us what it feels like.
Squishy.
Squishy.
Yeah, kind of like, I don't know, it's really similar to mashed potatoes. I would relate it to that.
Okay.
How many times have
Kind
you
of
seen
warm
her
in
making
there.
potatoes?
Nice. All right, so now that she has her blubber glove, she's gonna stick it in the ice cold water and tell us how it feels now that she has that protective layer.
So just like this, stick it in there.
Yep.
Yep.
You've got your blubber glove.
I literally feel nothing.
You can't even feel the ice? Like the temperature doesn't feel different to you?
No, on one of my fingers where it feels a little like there's not blubber there, I can feel the cold, but on the rest of my hand, nothing.
Oh, that is so cool. Okay, so that is supposed to simulate exactly how a whale, a seal, a walrus that lives in the Arctic, they have that extra layer of fat. In fact, it looks kind of just like the Crisco you have, that yellow substance. If you were to look at the fat inside their body, it would look actually a lot like that. And the consistency would look very much the same as well. So just a little recap. She could stand there all day, right?
Yeah, I mean, I literally feel nothing.
Exactly. So quick recap about what happened here in our experiment. So fat, right? Blubber is essentially an extra layer of fat, and it's protective, and it's an adaptation that over years and years and years of living in the Arctic, this is something that these animals have had to adapt to, right? They have this physical characteristic that has changed within their bodies in order to survive, right? So even a vegetable-based fat like shortening, so the stuff that she used in her blubber glove is actually a cooking fat. So it's a good simulation of what actually happens. But it insulates the animals from the cold. So the shortening provides a decent substitute for blubber, the layer of fat that seals, whales, walruses, polar bears, and even some marine animals in polar climates have. So awesome. That concludes our experiment. Danielle, do you have something to say about it?
Nope, guys, still can't feel anything, but thanks for joining us today for worksheets and instructions and videos that go along with the blubber experiment. Look at the links below. Mandana, what do you have for us?
I just wanted to say, again, I said this last video that if you are grossed out by this, don't like it, or any of this kind of stuff, don't do it. This is just to get you guys to have something to do during this time with Corona, COVID-19, whatever you call it. So it's literally just for learning and fun combined together. If you don't like the kind of stuff that we are doing, you don't have to do it. This is not something you have to do. It's just something that you might want to do.
Yep, it's to be fun.
So thanks guys for joining us. Try your own blubber gloves. It's really amazing. I'll think about this the next time it turns winter, that I'll just cover myself in Crisco.
Full body blubber.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna make a Crisco bodysuit so that I can go outside. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
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 Get your blubber.